Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out this session where I'm going to be talking to you all about optimizing your female physiology for better results. Because I've actually been talking a lot more lately about self-love and acceptance and, love being in the skin that you're in. And I am totally for that. And having said that, I still believe that we can want to continually improve and feel our best, because whilst I'm working on loving being in the skin that I'm in, I definitely notice certain signals or cues from my body where I just think, that doesn't make me feel great. How can I help myself to feel better within my skin? And I kind of took a bit of a break really from so much of the nutrition and health side of the work that I do, and I was focused a lot more on mindset, and I do still do a lot of that. However, I've been reading a lot more recently about female physiology, our hormone levels, and how we can work to optimize that to be in our favor, because I am all for making things feel easier, and I think this is a huge thing when it comes to our hormones. I mean, how many times have you felt like you're fighting or you're battling your body? We get told in the diet industry that we need to move our body more, we need to consume less calories, and it's this eat less and move more model, which in simplicity, yeah, it's all great, well and good, and that is definitely the first place to go to if you are just starting out. But there is this also frustration that comes with that. And when we look at the research and the scientific studies that have been done on health and fitness over the past years, that like sports science has been a thing. This is what I studied at university, and a lot of studies and general health and fitness guidance is based off studies that were done in male college level athletic men. And this is where a lot of the information has come filtered through from. But for you guys that are watching this, most of you are not men. You are not young male athletes. So why should we be training and really just using that general guidelines? Because often it just makes us feel like crap. There's so many fitness influencers out there, and we get rammed into us, just get into a calorie deficit, just get into a calorie deficit, when it's as simple as that. I'm a woman who is in the health and fitness industry, and I know there are times when I'm working on my business, when I've got 2 kids running around my feet, when I've got all of the stresses of life going on, and then the week before my period, I've got cravings, I've got my energy is on the floor, I've got zero motivation, I'm just getting told, stay in a fucking calorie deficit. Okay then, mate, simple as that then, is it? It doesn't take the female physiology into consideration, our lifestyle into consideration, and then we beat ourselves up because we're trying to push through and motivate ourselves and keep going, and it just feels hard, and then you end up eating a tub of Ben & Jerry's or whatever it is because it feels too tough and your energy is like, and you want to have that pick me up. And this is where the cycle continues. So what can we do about this? We can look at our monthly cycle and we can start to utilize it and work with it instead of fighting against it. Yes, your monthly cycle is going to be very individual and specific to you. When we look at the textbooks, at what they say, and they talk about a regular 28-day cycle. For some women, that's going to be less. For some women, that's going to be more. And the fluctuations and influences that you feel from those changes in hormones throughout the time, again, are going to be better for some people. They're going to be worse for others. And this also begs the question that if you get severe symptoms from your menstrual cycle, that there could be other health markers in there to look at that. But a general healthy person who is having a natural cycle every 28 days, there should be these slighter, lower fluctuations or a more balanced approach. So it's important for you to consider what is relevant for you. So what I'm going to talk you through is the basic cycle and how that can influence you, and how we can then look at implementing or strategizing our training and our nutrition around that, so that it feels supportive towards the body instead of feeling like you're just pushing against it all of the time. Now, microbiology is a pretty complex subject, and a lot of it will go straight over my head. So I'm going to be talking about this in very layman's simplistic terms. But if you feel that it is something that is relevant for you to take this information to start applying it, and if you want to go deeper in it, then the option is absolutely there for that. So we're going to be looking at your menstrual cycle as mainly a two-part phase. So there's a few different elements in that. So we have the start of menstruation, and that is the first day of your period when you start to bleed. That would be considered as day one. We then go into the follicular phase. So during the follicular phase, and I'm going to put a little diagram on the screen so that you can see this clearly. So menstruation, this is the period, this is the shedding of your uterine lining, the levels of estrogen and progesterone are low. Now, estrogen and progesterone are the two hormones that we're going to be talking most about today. Low levels of estrogen can lead to low mood, fatigue. You know the feelings when you are on your period, your energy levels are on the floor, you really can't be bothered doing very much, and you feel bloated, you feel tired, you feel lethargic, and that is caused by those low estrogen levels. We then move from after the first day or so into the follicular phase. So this is between the first day of your period and your ovulation. During this period, estrogen rises. And as the estrogen rises, so do your energy levels, your motivation starts to come back, and your ability to build muscle is increased. You also get to utilize body fat storage. So this is like the good phase. All of the feel-good feelings are coming back. So during this phase, we want to utilize exercise more, we can burn more, and our body is also better able to adapt and cope with stress that we put under it. We then get to the midway point, which is like usually day 14 in our theoretical 28-day cycle. Estrogen peaks just beforehand and then drops off slightly afterwards. After this, we move into the luteal phase. So this is the time between ovulation and then this before the start of menstruation. So just before your period comes back. So it's 2 weeks before, up to ovulation, and then luteal is the 2 weeks afterwards. Now, during this time, progesterone is produced, it peaks, and then it's going to drop off towards the end. So when progesterone levels are higher, you're going to feel more sensitive to stress. Generally can't tolerate carbs or as much food as you would have done during the first phase. You're going to get that also increased amount of cravings. So it's just being able to notice these rise and fluctuations and how you're feeling. It's actually quite a good idea to start to track your cycle. I mean, so many fitness apps now and watches can track your cycle, and to go in and just add in on the notes how you're feeling, because when you can work with this cycle, you notice that you don't have to go pushing against your natural urges and instincts, and instead can start to listen to that and to work with it. And it's that luteal phase, that's the one that I know that I felt with the struggle with. Like, your cravings are up, your energy levels are down, and this is when you're still trying to stay in that calorie fucking deficit. How about, no, we don't want to. And then we push ourselves, and then we feel guilty about not being able to sustain it. And this is where the cycle continues on. So the purpose of this video was really to highlight this phase and what happens during your period and why you're feeling a certain way. And it's to take that level of judgment away from yourself, that you're not a failure, and it's not just because you have no willpower. There are things going on within your body. And hopefully having this information now is going to give you the knowledge to be able to impact and influence your training and your eating schedule to go in line with it. Now, if you are interested in learning more or want the eating plan or the nutrition advice that goes with this, then come and join us on our online Better Body Coaching, as this is what we're diving into on this month's coaching training, where I'm going to go even deeper and I'm going to give you the step-by-step protocol so that you can be supported of your nutrition and your training, so that you can work with your female physiology. Your change in hormone levels are actually going to be beneficial to you when you know how to utilize them effectively. So if you want to learn more about coming onto online Better Body Coaching, you can check out more down below. So I hope this has given you some insight and to start to look a little bit deeper, or to give yourself some understanding and a little bit of compassion of why you feel the way you do during your menstrual cycle, and to not just push against it, but to start to work with it.